Hi, Daryl. Happy Thursday.
What's up, Jazzi? What's going on?
How are you doing today? Today's workouts. We're just going to get right into it. So, we're going to do 3 rounds of today's workout. We're going to do 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest / transition time. And we're going to start off here with some reverse lunges. And what we're going to do is we're going to add that knee drive at the top. So we're going to start. Can't reach too far low. Here we are. Okay, so we're gonna start at the top of our space. We're gonna step back into that reverse lunge, and then we're gonna drive that knee up at the top. If you are into trying to make things a little bit more challenging today, always recommend you can add a jump at the top. So you can step back and then jump up if that's your jam today. If not, we're just gonna step back, drive the knee up. We're gonna do all on one leg, and then we'll switch over all on the other leg, getting those legs nice and worked out today. So those are our first 2 movements. Next 2 things, we're going to do more upper body focus. We're going to do some bent over T's. So we're going to push those hips back and bring our arms out to the side into a T and back down. But we're actually going to have a twist on it today. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring them up, and then we're going to hold one arm up, and we're going to go one arm at a time. So we're going to hold the opposite arm, so that way we get a little bit more of a workout in our shoulders today. And then the next thing we're going to do are bent over A's. So same position, bringing those arms all the way up like we're making an A. And we're going to hold for 3 seconds at the top. So we're squeezing through the armpits, holding for 3, back down, bringing back up, holding 1, 2, 3, and going back down. So that's going to be our bent over A's with that 3-second hold. And then we're going to do a little bit more cardio movements at the end here. So what we're going to do is a triple switch into a Romanian deadlift. So we're going to have one knee up, kind of like we're doing a march. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3. And then what we're going to do is that single leg Romanian deadlift. So we're going to bring that leg back, push our hips back, bringing that chest towards the ground, push the ground away, bring that knee back up, and then 1, 2, 3. So same thing. So it's 3, switching, focusing on pushing those hips back like we're closing that door, keeping that hip down, and then again, 1, 2, 3. So that's going to be our 5th movement. And then finally, last but not least, we're going to do skips and marches. So this one, well, you can either do either one. You can do all skips. You can do skips for like 20 seconds. You can march for 10 seconds. But when we are skipping, we're going to double tap, get those knees nice and high. So switching opposite arm, opposite leg, pushing the ground away, or when we're marching, we're going nice and quick, again, punching the ground as we step up. So that is going to be our whole workout for today. So we're going to get started with our warm-up movement. So we're going to make our way to the top of our space. We're going to do the world's greatest stretch, as both of y'all know, because I love this one. We're going to go ahead, bring that knee towards the chest. So I'm starting with my right knee. Interlace those fingers, pulling towards the chest. Nice big deep breath. And we're exhaling, stepping back into that reverse lunge. Hands on the inside of that front leg. Keeping that back leg nice and straight. Really opening up those hips. Nice big deep breath. And exhaling, bringing that left hand up towards the ceiling. Gazing past the thumbs, reading that rotation through the neck. Nice big deep breath. And exhaling, planting on the outside of the front foot. Pushing those hips up into our hamstring stretch. Breathing into that tightness. Nice big deep breath. And we're going to exhale, bring our right foot next to the left foot and stand on. Awesome. All right, we're going to do that same thing on the other side. So interlace the fingers, grab onto the left knee, pull that left knee towards the chest. Nice big deep breath. And we're going to exhale, stepping back into a reverse lunge. Hands going on the inside of that front foot, keeping that back leg nice and straight. Nice big deep breath. And exhaling, bringing the right hand up towards the ceiling, gazing past our thumb. In that full rotation, back leg still staying straight. Nice big deep breath. And exhaling, planting on the outside of our front foot. Push those hips up into our hamstring stretch. Toes towards the ceiling. Nice big deep breath. And we're going to exhale, bring our feet together. And we're going to stand on up. Awesome. All right. Last part of our warm up here, we're going to get on the ground in our half kneeling position. We're gonna stretch out our hip flexors a little bit more since we got a lot of lunges, a lot of marching, getting our knees on up. So we're gonna stretch that out real quick. So let's go ahead, keep that core tight, tuck the pelvis, squeeze that glute of the knee that's on the ground, push those hips slightly forward. Really keep that glute squeezed. Nice big deep breath. And let's go ahead, rock those hips back into a nice hamstring stretch. So toes to the ceiling, bring that chest towards the ground. We're breathing nice and deep. We're gonna do 2 of these on each side. So we're gonna do our deep breath. And we're gonna exhale, rocking back to our hip flexor stretch. So again, squeeze that glute, keep that core nice and tight, push those hips forward. Really squeeze that glute as hard as you can. Nice big deep belly breath. And exhaling, rocking back, toes to the ceiling, chest towards the knee. Breathing into that tightness today. Nice big deep breath. And we're gonna exhale and release out of that. And then let's go ahead and switch our legs. So whatever knee is on the ground, our opposite knee is gonna be on the ground. And same checklist. So tuck that pelvis, keep that core tight, keep that glute squeezed, and gently bring those hips forward. Breathing into the belly, nice big deep belly breath. And let's go ahead and exhale, rock the hips back, toes to the ceiling, chest towards the knee. Getting that nice hamstring stretch in. Breathing into that tightness. Nice big deep breath. And let's go ahead, exhale, back to our hip flexor stretch. The last one here, squeeze that glute, keep the core tight, push those hips forward. Really feeling that opening up the front of our hip. Nice big deep belly breath. And exhaling, toes to the ceiling, rocking back into that hamstring stretch. This hamstring is tight today. And one more big deep breath. And let's go ahead and exhale and release out of that. And we are ready to rock and roll. So we are starting in the top of our space. We're doing reverse lunges with that knee drive or the jump, if that's what's available to you today and you want to challenge yourself. And I'm going to get my timer going. We're doing 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest. Getting ready here in 3, 2, 1, and go. So starting with whichever leg you'd like, we're going to do 45 seconds on each leg, stepping back, driving that knee up. So we really want to explode up. If we pretend like we've got a plane of glass at our hips, we're going to break that glass with our knee as we drive it up. So we're using that front leg here to push off or exploding up with that knee. It's hard if I look at the camera instead of looking straight forward. We're being nice and explosive today. We can step back nice and slow, really power through, coming on up. That's what we're focusing on today. Keep that core tight as we drive that knee up. The knee drive is going to come from that core movement as well as the explosiveness from that front knee. Oh, sorry, from the front leg. 3, 2, 1. All right. Same thing. We're going to do that on the other leg. So getting ready again, nice and explosive. I want us to focus on that explosion as we are driving up. 3, 2, 1. So we're stepping back with the other leg, driving up. So really, like I said, nice and explosive. So we're keeping that chest over the arch of the front foot, keeping that weight forward, driving the knee up. Keeping that core tight. If you pretend like someone's about to punch you in the stomach, kind of brace yourself. Or if you have an apple here, you pretend like you're crushing that apple with your stomach. Really engaging the core. Exhaling, driving up. Like pushing through that whole foot. So that heel, focusing on that heel on the ground is going to activate our glutes the way we want to. Moving nice and slow and also quick through the movement. No, that sounds oxymoron. 3, 2, 1. All right, next up, we're going to do our bent over T's. So we're going to hold the T, one arm moving at a time. 3, 2, 1. So we're keeping that core tight, butt to belly button. Push those hips back. Holding that T, one arm at a time is going to come down and back up. So I want us to keep our pinkies towards the ceiling, and we are going to pretend like we've got a plane of glass all the way across our back. As we come up, we're breaking that glass with our elbow. So if we focus on driving through the elbows, again, we're going to get that nice engagement through the backs of the shoulders, just like when we focus on pushing the ground away with our heel. So it's very similar. Still kind of doing a little bit of explosiveness, but we also want to make sure 3, 2, 1. All right. That's going to get tiring by the end. Awesome. All right. Next up, we're going to do bent over A's. So same thing. We're going to be here holding that A for 3 seconds at the top. 3, 2, 1. So push those hips back like you're closing the door. Keep that core tight. Making our A, holding for 3, and then back down. So squeeze through the armpits. 1, 2, 3, and back down. So what I like to kind of focus on too, because we want to really activate our lat muscles right here. If you pretend like you're holding onto a piece of paper, you don't want that paper to fall in between your arm and your body. That's the muscles that we want to activate. So we want to pretend like we're squeezing a piece of paper in between our arm and our body. And that's how we're going to activate those muscles. Great job. 1, 2, 3. All right, we got time for one more. 3, 2, 1. All right, nice job. That one's going to give us a little bit of a static glute workout there. All right, next up we have our triple switch into our single leg Romanian deadlift. So we're going to get those knees up, 1, 2, 3, into our deadlift. 3, 2, 1. So I get those knees up nice and high. 1, 2, 3. Opposite arm, opposite hand as well. Push those hips back. Sink into our hip. Get that chest as close to parallel as we can. We do not need to go all the way to the ground. Okay, so we're pushing those hips back until our hips are done. And then knee comes right back up and we go 1, 2, 3. Push the hips back. So it's just like our just like our regular Romanian deadlift. We're still keeping that whole foot on the ground, core tight. Push the hips back like we're closing the door. I'm having trouble with my balance today. Right? 3, 2, 1. All right, nice job. Last part of the circuit, for last part of round 1, we're going to do skips. So we're going to try and skip the whole time. We can always switch it up with a few marches and then right back into skips. 3, 2, 1. So opposite arm, opposite leg, we're double tapping at the bottom. So it's kind of like a quick double tap. And we want to make sure that we're not necessarily stomping on the ground. We do want it to be quick. We also want to make sure those knees are getting out. So same thing, we got that plane of glass, we're breaking it with our knee. Keep our core nice and tight. We are also keeping our chest open, looking straight ahead, get those knees up. And if we're marching, same thing, punching the ground away. We can always take a few seconds, march, and then right back into our skips. 3, 2, 1. All right. Whew, nice job. Okay, we're starting off at the top. We got our reverse lunges into our knee drive or the jump if you're feeling like a challenge today. 3, 2, 1. I personally am not feeling like being challenged, so I'm going to stick to my knee drive and my explosiveness. These shoes are too bouncy for me. Okay. Really focusing. I know this happens to me too. I tend to pull with my hip. We want to keep the quads nice and relaxed. So that way we're really just stepping back. We're driving up with our core. It's kind of hard to not pull with your leg, but really just focusing on exhaling, keeping that leg nice and loose. I'm already starting to feel my hip popping every time. We're doing good though. Nice job, everyone. 3, 2, 1. Okay. We're gonna do that same thing on the other leg. And then we'll get into our upper body T's and A's. All right, we're getting ready here. 3, 2, 1. Stepping back, driving up. If you are jumping, it is the same movement. So if you do want to kind of challenge yourself, maybe next round or this round, stepping back. And then as you come up, again, same explosiveness, drive, land nice and soft with that foot. So we're here. It's just a next step up. We want to land nice and soft so we are jumping, making sure that knee is bending as we land. Otherwise, if we land with that knee straight, we're putting pressure on the knee joint. And I think a lot of us already have maybe some knee pain going on. So don't want to aggravate anything. So landing nice and soft. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, we have our T's. So we're holding the T, one arm at a time. We're going to really feel this right on the backs of the shoulders. 3, 2, 1. I think I say this every time we do T's. This movement is so good for posture. A lot of us, me included, I'm so guilty of this. Don't have the best posture when we're sitting in the desk, when we're walking, when we're on the couch, all of that. So this one's really good to help strengthen our upper back, to help us have a little bit better posture, maybe take some pressure off of our neck, off of our shoulders, all of that. So I love doing these for some posture work, really squeezing through the backs of the shoulders. When I'm already getting tired, great job. 3, 2, 1. Whew, man, I think after the shoulders that we did this morning, shoulders are dead today. Awesome. All right, next up, we're gonna do our bent over A's. So same thing, making that A, holding for 3 seconds and back down. 3, 2, 1. Push those hips back. So keep that core tight, just like we're doing a Romanian deadlift. So get those hips back, hands in front, holding for 3 and back down. So we're coming up. 1, 2, 3, back down and coming up. 1, 2, 3. Keep those armpits squeezed. So remember, we're holding a piece of paper in between our arm and our body, making sure it's not falling. Holding for 3 seconds, back down. 1, 2, 3. Great job. We got time for at least one more. And last one here. 3, 2, 1. All right, nice job. All right, we're on to our cardio portion here. We got our triple switch into our single leg Romanian deadlift. The Romanian deadlift with one leg. 3, 2, 1. It is a little bit easier to have better balance if you are barefoot. So if y'all at home have no shoes on, that is definitely the route we want to go for these. I'm not going to take my shoes off here because I will fall on my face on the hardwood with my socks on, and I do not want to take my socks off. So we're doing 1, 2, 3. Keep that balance, core tight, pushing our hips back. If you notice, my hips are going back just as if I were doing a 2-leg Romanian deadlift. So that's the key here. Push the hips back. It's going to help with our balance and stability. 3, 2, 1. All right, great job. All right, last up here, we got skips or marches, whatever is available. If we're not in jumping position today, we're doing marches. 3, 2, 1. So skipping, we're double tapping, bringing opposite arm, opposite leg, keeping those arms nice and tight. Now we're swinging a little bit too much. Getting those knees up, keeping that core tight. Same thing, keeping those legs nice and loose as we drive the knees up. Great job. If you need to take a second, so we're about halfway through. If this is the time where we march it out a little bit instead of skipping, definitely do that. And we're gonna go right back into skipping if we've been marching. So give ourselves a few seconds. You can always count to 3, count to 5, 3, 2, and 1. My counting got messed up. Okay, so that was it for round 2. Nice job. We're in round 3. Starting at the top, we got our reverse lunge, 2 knee drive or jump. 3, 2, 1. Stepping back, using our hands to help us, making sure we're keeping that leg nice and loose. If you're like me, you might feel my hip literally pops every time I put my leg back down. And it does not feel so good to do that. So I'm gonna start taking mine a little bit slower, but Sometimes the speed does not matter how fast we're moving, right? It's how our quality movements are. So we want to make sure that we are feeling the muscles properly. So feeling the core, feeling that front glute, being explosive still. 3, 2, 1. All right, nice job. We're gonna do that same thing on the other side. And then we'll move on to our upper body movements and then our cardio. All right, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna step back, driving up. So keeping, I already did that leg. Oh man, all right. Pushing through the ground, heel big toe, little toe. The slower we do move when we stand up, the more glute engagement we're gonna get, which is ideal here, but we do also wanna work on explosiveness. So we're still gonna be explosive and also mindful of our movement. It is possible to do both. So exploding up, keeping that quad nice and loose. Exhaling as we come up. 3, 2, 1. All right, done with lunges for the day. Next up, we got our T's where we're gonna hold and alternate. We're getting ready. 3, 2, 1. So core tight, push our hips back, hands in front, holding at the top, driving through the elbows. We got that plane of glass on our back. We're breaking that glass. Each time we come up, we are also keeping our shoulder blades tucked down and back together. So if we pretend like we got an orange or an egg right here that we're cracking or squeezing, it's gonna help us keep those shoulders down and then only engage the muscles we want, which is right at the back of the shoulders. So if we let those ears be near the shoulders, we're gonna start to use our traps, which are already tight enough 90% of the time for us. 3, 2, 1. I forgot we were doing all training ones. My bad. All right, next up we're doing our A's, holding for 3 seconds. I feel like we kind of look like airplanes when we do this. So maybe we'll change it to airplane holds. 3, 2, 1. So push those hips back, core nice and tight, holding for 3 seconds, and then coming down. Same thing, crack that egg, squeeze the orange, whatever feels good to you, whatever imagery works, but we're pulling those shoulder blades down and back together, so that way our shoulders are not near the ears. Keeping that core tight, push those hips back, hold for 3 seconds, squeeze that paper between your body and your arm. Great job. Like keep squeezing, make those A's, hold them for 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right, we only got 2 more movements left, and then we're gonna move into our cool down. Then we'll be good to go for the rest of the day. So we got our triple switch into our single leg Romanian deadlifts. 3, 2, 1. So we're gonna have one knee up, 1, 2, 3. Stabilize, hips back, slight bend in the knee, not going to the ground. Do not want us to go all the way to the ground. That leaves us open for hamstring injuries, which is also why we did a few different hamstring warm-ups as we were getting started today. Push those hips back. If you need to put the arms out to help, definitely do that. Whatever is going to help with balance. But the best thing for balance is 1, being barefoot, 2, picking a spot on the ground, not looking away from it, and 3, pushing those hips back. So push those hips back. 3, 2, 1. All right, nice job. Last thing for today, marches or skips, or should I say skips or marches? I want us to focus on skipping today. 3, 2, 1. And I know skipping is not always available for everyone every single day, especially if you've got maybe some downstairs neighbors. Don't want to be stomping all over above if you're in an apartment. And if you have maybe some knee or joint problems, also probably don't want to be jumping today for skips. But if you can, Skipping is available to you. I would like us to all challenge ourselves to skip the whole time, especially for round 3. But if skipping's not your thing today, it's no problem. We definitely can march. Skipping is like the next step from marching. So they're very similar. 3, 2, 1. And that is going to be the workout for today. Nice job, everyone. Go ahead, grab a sip of water if you need it. If not, we're going to go ahead and make our way onto the ground, and we're going to be on our hands and knees first, and then we're going to flip over onto our back. So making our way to our hands and knees, and we're going to thread the needle first. We did quite a few upper back movements. So it's going to help us stretch all that out. So we're going to start with the right arm, reaching in between left arm, left leg, pushing the back of the hand into the ground, pulling away with the upper back. So the further we reach, the more of a stretch we're going to get. But we're also going to get more spinal rotation too if we do reach further. But we really want to aim to feel that stretch through here and right underneath our shoulder blades. That's going to help us there. We're going to do a few breaths here. So we're probably going to do one more deep breath in this position. So nice big inhale. And when we're done with that exhale, we can bring that hand back up underneath the shoulder. And then we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So left hand in between right arm, right leg, push into the ground, pull away with the upper back, feeling that stretch right underneath the shoulder blade into our upper back. Nice job, everyone. Nice big deep breaths. And one more deep breath here. And as we exhale, we can go ahead and make our way back to our hands and knees. And from here, we're going to go ahead and flip over onto our back. And we're going to do our figure 4 piriformis stretch. So we're going to stretch out our hamstrings, hips, glutes, and back a little bit. So I'm going to start off once we're on the ground. We're going to make our way, bringing our right ankle above the left knee. If that feels good, go ahead and stay there. If you need a little bit more tension, let's go ahead and interlace those fingers. Grab either behind the knee or in front of the shin, pulling the knee towards the chest. We're going to do 3 breaths here, and then we'll do 3 on the other side. So nice big deep belly breaths. Nice long slow exhales. And one more deep breath here. And we can gently release that foot back to the ground. And then we'll go ahead and do the same thing on the other leg. So left ankle across right knee. And then we can go ahead, if you need more tension, interlace the fingers behind the knee or in front of the shin. Inhaling nice and deep into the belly. And exhaling, sighing away our tension. And one more deep breath here. And as we finish that exhale, we can bring that foot back to the ground. And you're more than welcome to stay laying on your back if that's what you would like to do. But that is going to be all the time we have for today's class. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope y'all had a nice time as much as I did. We do have a couple more classes today. We got dance coming up right after this with John. And then we do have abs and core later tonight with Renee today. And then tomorrow, same as always, we have sports performance at 7. And then functional fitness Friday at 12, and that's going to be with Noelle tomorrow. So if you join there, you're going to get a different workout with her. And then we do have our challenge going on. I think both of y'all have completed for today. Woo! And we got one more day left of that. So keep up the great work. Thank you for coming and enjoy the rest of your day.